Independence, I see Deputy McGrath, and one of the Healy raised.
Are
you talking out for Michael as well? You're doing
we're dividing in two.
Can I just point out, after the rural independence slot, there will be an opportunity for anybody else who hasn't already spoken to come in. There will be some time left. Deputy McGrath, the floor is yours.
Yeah, remember Cahill Kun and you know, the field deputy Michael Henry issues as well. He's chairing a very important EU meeting with the Portuguese ambassador and people at present, and also an invitation to the embassy tonight, which we hope to take up as well. But it's very important business. He sends his apologies that he can't be here to speak this evening. Count Cola, I'm happy to speak briefly in this matter here today. And I would like to say something. No difference at all to you, Taras Stott, Minister of State. The Taoiseach was here, and this is a pattern I've noticed in all these statements. And I understand when he's out of the country or whatever, but he was here until the independence behind me, both Deputy Daly and Deputy Wallace started to speak, and he fled like the snow off a ditch. And I think it's bad manners. And I'm here also on the independence. We represent people as well. We represent rural people who are badly affected by this, and if he could sit in for the Fianna Fáil himself speech, fine, but he has a habit of leaving before when we come up independence. Whether he thinks we don't matter, but he'll find that out someday soon. But it's bad, it's disrespectful. I hope you pass on the message to him. I understand he's a busy man, but it always seems to be the time when the party leaders are finished, he seems to decide to go. As we know, the European Council has agreed to an extension to allow for the ratification of the withdrawal agreement by the UK. And just to add, us in the Rural Independence have been cooperative and have facilitated and agreed and went along with any of his requests and briefings up to date, and with the Taoiseach also. So we're not aliens, Ron. The conclusions of the Council were extremely clear. Such an extension should last only as long as necessary, and in any event no longer than the 31st of October 2019. At the very least, then we have the end game in sight, and I hope we have, because quite frankly everybody is fatigued with it, Minister. I'm sure none more than yourself, and I won't purport to speak for you, but everybody I speak to, especially the farming and business community, and people who are into exports, and the hauliers, and down to every village in rural Ireland, there's a huge feeling of uncertainty, is the best word to use it. A huge feeling of angst to know, when are we going to get an end game? Are we going to get an end game? And what's going to be the result? And the uncertainty. And I meet people now, very excellent, businessmen, young businessmen, employing up to 30, 40 people, exporting a lot to England and indeed elsewhere, and their order books are falling and slipping, and they're very concerned. The staff have been let go already, and they're doing their best to keep their staff, but there's huge worry, and the uncertainty is palpable and is out there and is very real. And indeed, the FCI were here today, the Farming Contractors of Ireland were here today, hoping to meet Minister Bruton, but he's like you can have an audience with the Pope now before you can meet Minister Bruton. 5 deputies in Tipperary can't meet him about a post office in Thurles, and he won't meet that national organisation either, who were very worried. He was concerned, and he was in the chamber today and around the house. So it's a case of Scarlett Pimpernel. You can't find him. Find me here, find me there, and send out your colleague out to meet him. That's not good enough. Ministers have to be held accountable to the people. As I said, the end game is in sight. If the withdrawal agreement is ratified by both parties before this date, the withdrawal will take place on the first day of the following month. You nearly wanted a calendar with you now to watch all the months and the deadlines and the dates. It's worse than any saucy, messy divorce. It's very, 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 we might need arbitration, I'd say. What must be deeply concerning for the EU is, of course, the plain fact that if the UK is still a member of the EU on the 23rd to the 26th of May 2019, and if it has not ratified the withdrawal agreement by the 22nd of May 2019, it must hold the elections to the European Parliament in accordance with the Union law. And that's going to have an impact on the number of seats we might have, and we might have, and we mightn't have. And in that vein, I'd like to wish the God talk to him here. I talked to Wallace, I was talked to Daly. I wish the very best in the late entry to the game, the last minute, but by God, there'll be a fair flush when they get out on the road. I'm looking forward to meeting him and engaging with him, and wish them well. Although I'll be lonesome after him here when they're both elected to Europe. We'll miss him out of the chamber. maybe they have gone into, I'm too late for that, Count Calder, I'm too late. Unless they put my name in and not tell me, I don't know. But nonetheless, they won't need subs. They're able and capable and will be capable members of the EU, and they won't need subs either. And I wish them well. And all the candidates that are running, but especially from the independent benches, I think people out there are tired and fatigued of party politics and they want to get going. They will also have been a huge relief to have heard that the European Council reiterate that there can be no opening of the withdrawal agreement. This again underlines for us that there is, at least for now, a solid enough commitment to the backstop and the rejection of the introduction of a hard border. I'm almost finished. The fact is that people, businesses and farmers are simply fed up with the massive and destabilising uncertainty that the entire process has brought about, particularly with respect to our trade and export markets. We cannot persist in allowing this kind of damaging and frustrating process to be continually drawn out, given that, as we know, that after a good Brexit, trade deals and new arrangements will take years to become embedded into the new way of doing our business with each other.